In the whirlwind that is Hollywood's award season and blockbuster promotions, few pairings have captured the public's imagination quite like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, the dynamic duo behind the reimagined world of Oz in the highly anticipated film Wicked. As the mania surrounding the musical adaptation reaches fever pitch with the tease of a second chapter, the two stars are finally stepping out from under the emerald shadow, reflecting on a promotional journey that swung wildly from awkward, meme-worthy mishaps to profoundly emotional breakthroughs. What began as a press tour dubbed by critics as one of the cringiest in recent memory, filled with forced smiles, scripted soundbites and viral clips of discomfort, has evolved into a sisterhood of tears, vulnerability, and what Erivo poignantly calls holding space for one another. As Wicked Mania explodes into Part 2, Grande and Erivo's candid revelations offer a backstage pass to the highs, lows and heartfelt connections that define their ride on the yellow brick road. Let's rewind to the tour's rocky start. From the moment Wicked was announced as a two-part epic directed by John M. Chu, expectations soared sky-high, buoyed by the Broadway original's legendary status and the casting of pop sensation Ariana Grande as the iconic Glinda the Good Witch alongside Tony winner Cynthia Erivo as the misunderstood Elphaba. The trailers alone sparked frenzy, with Grande's crystalline vocals soaring over emerald landscapes and Erivo's powerhouse belts shaking the foundations of fantasy. But when the press circuit kicked off in earnest, it was less defying gravity and more crashing to earth. Memes proliferated across social media as clips surfaced of Grande fumbling interview questions about the film's deeper themes, her laughter a touch too manic, or Erivo pausing mid-sentence, eyes darting as if searching for an escape hatch from overly probing queries. One particularly infamous moment involved a red carpet reporter asking Grande if she'd always dreamed of being a witch, to which she replied with a wide-eyed stare and a quip about her ponytail being magic enough, leaving co-hosts in awkward silence. Critics pounced, labeling it the cringiest press tour since Cats, with headlines decrying the star's discomfort as a symptom of the industry's relentless machine. Yet, beneath the surface-level stumbles lay a burgeoning bond that would soon redefine their public narrative. Grande, no stranger to the spotlight after years of chart-topping hits and personal reckonings, from her Manchester Arena tragedy survival to high-profile romances, entered Wicked at a vulnerable juncture. At 32, she was reclaiming her narrative, channeling Glinda's bubbly facade into a performance laced with quiet depth. Erivo, 38 and fresh off an Oscar nomination for Harriet, brought gravitas and grit, her Elphaba a green-skinned embodiment of resilience against prejudice. Their on-screen chemistry was electric, but off-screen, the tour's pressures tested it early. It felt like we were on trial, Erivo later shared in a tearful interview, her voice cracking as she recalled late-night hotel room debriefs where doubts crept in. Grande echoed this, admitting in a Variety sit-down that the weight of representation for queer icons and women of color in fantasy realms amplified every misstep. The holding space mantra emerged from these raw exchanges, Erivo's term for the act of witnessing pain without judgment, a practice rooted in her spiritual toolkit of meditation and therapy. As the tour progressed through global stops, from London's West End echoes to New York's Broadway haunts, the shift was palpable. What started as stilted Q&As blossomed into moments of unfiltered magic. Take the Sydney premiere. After a grueling flight, Grande and Erivo surprised fans with an impromptu a cappella rendition of Popular on the red carpet, their voices intertwining in harmonious defiance of jet lag. The crowd's roar drowned out any lingering awkwardness, and social media flipped from snark to swoon. Behind the scenes, their support system solidified. Erivo became Grande's vocal coach in reverse, helping her navigate the operatic demands of the score, while Grande introduced Erivo to her quirky self-care rituals, like essential oil diffusers shaped like munchkins. These exchanges weren't just professional, they were lifelines. Ari became my mirror, Erivo reflected, showing me the joy in the chaos. Grande in turn credited Erivo with teaching her to breathe through the bullshit, a lesson that manifested in calmer interviews where she delved into Glinda's arc as a metaphor for imposter syndrome. The emotional apex came during the Los Angeles leg, where tears flowed freely amid the glamour. At a panel discussion hosted by the Directors Guild, Grande broke down recounting her audition process, the endless loops of "for good" that left her throat raw and spirit frayed. Erivo, seated beside her, reached out instinctively, their hands clasping in a grip that spoke volumes. "We're not just playing witches, we're weaving spells of healing," Erivo said, her British lilt steadying the room. The audience, a mix of superfans and industry vets, held collective breath, then erupted in applause that felt like catharsis. This holding space moment went viral for all the right reasons, spawning think pieces on vulnerability in celebrity culture and fan art depicting the duo as literal guardians of Oz's heart. It marked a turning point. Subsequent stops from Tokyo's neon glow to Paris's Eiffel sparkle, brimmed with authenticity. Grande opened up about body image battles tied to Glinda's perfectionism, while Erivo discussed the microaggressions faced by black women in musical theater, their candor disarming even the toughest journalists. Now, as Wicked, Part 1 hurtles toward its November release and whispers of Part 2's 2026 expansion swirl, the mania is at full throttle. Trailers tease darker tones, Elphaba's flight into rebellion, Glinda's moral quandaries, promising a sequel that dives deeper into themes of friendship, identity, and power. Grande and Erivo, battle-hardened by the tour, approach it with renewed zeal. "We've earned our wings," Grande quipped in a recent Elle cover story, her signature ponytail now a symbol of triumph rather than tension. Erivo, ever the philosopher, added, "Oz isn't a place, it's the space we create together." Their off-duty adventures underscore this evolution. Spa days in Malibu where they dissect script pages over matcha lattes, or quiet hikes in the Hollywood Hills where they belt show tunes to the wind. Fans, once quick to meme, now flood comment sections with heart emojis and pleas for joint albums, the duo's influence rippling beyond the screen.